YouTube, welcome in, welcome in, welcome in. We're back trying to get shiny Regice once again. We're back trying to get shiny Regice. This one's gonna be shiny. We're gonna find it on the first find. This VOD is gonna be so fast. That wasn't it. Dude, hold on. Something's wrong. Are you guys hearing the game? Wait. Oh, no, you're not. You're not hearing the game. Sorry about that. Here, this should be fixed now. I had the button hit for I can hear the thing, but then not the button hit for you can hear the thing. And I'm like, why are the waveforms not bouncing? What's going on here? So we're good now. We fixed it. Was that we're fin spanning in the basement jail? Oh yeah, we're definitely, yeah, we're fin spanning. Not until tomorrow. The game's not on sale until tomorrow. That Regice isn't shiny. Chat, it's ruined. Chat, I'm ruined. Dude, we're gonna find it tonight though. 1 in 4096, right? We're gonna hit. The huge Pokemon is looking down on you. Why? Because I got laid off last year? Like what? What? Because I have like a stench? What? What? Because I'm like a has-been? What? What, because all my friends abandoned me? What? Why are you looking down on me? Which reason? Jacob, how we doing today? Dude, we're good. It's good. It's all good in here. I apparently, just hate myself, so we're back trying to get the shiny, because like, why would I play real video games when I can run around in a circle for 3 hours? Again. Ew. I think Reggie's looking down on me because he thinks I'm not good enough. I think he just thinks I'm like an ugly little boy. If you listen closely, if you use your ear holes, it sounds like when he shows up, he goes, ew. So I think he's just disgusted by my presence. Here, let's see. And let's listen a second time. Ew. He's a jerk. He's a big old jerk. What? Ew. This one isn't quite as fun as earn. A chat, of course, also remember anytime we were hunting for shiny Pokemon. Seb, this includes you, by the way. That if you he's just, I'm not gonna all night, I'm just gonna hear ew. You could vote on what we should name this thing once we find the shiny and once we catch it. That's how it works. Mods have the list of what the names are right now and how many votes are going towards each name. And that is every sub, whether it's for you or whether it's a gift. If you give 5 subs, you get 5 votes. If you give 1 sub, you get 1 vote. Still working on this? I would say more that it's like I'm back to working on it. Less so than like still working on it. It's kind of the opposite of the They Might Be Giants song Snowball in Hell, where there's the little like interlude where the guy goes, back on that old time is money kick. Not back on it. Still on it. This is the opposite. Not still on it. Back on it. Back on it, back on it, back on it. Yo, Vigil, thank you for that 5-stream streak. Appreciate you being back. What's this noise? You here for Donkey Facts? It's not Donkey Fact night. We had 2 Donkey Fact nights in a row. We're shiny hunting tonight, yo. Weren't I not married when I started? Well, Rock, I don't remember if I was, if we did Rock before I got married. We did Steel at the end of 2023 into 2024. And then we took like a good, 9-month, 10-month break from Regi hunting, because you can only do it every so often. And now we're back on it. So, it's like, yeah, it's not the only thing we're doing, but yeah, we are back to it a little bit. Ew. Ew. Gross. It's, it's like sometimes you just need like the months-long delayed dopamine hit. It's what, like kind of like a non it's kind of like a non-sexual edging where you're like, oh, it could be the next one, it could be the next one. Oh, that hit's gonna be so good. Oh, come on, give me that dopamine hit. Come on. What did you One more Cheez-It theory? Yeah, one more Cheez-It. Look, we're just having crackers. Come on. What does Regice think about this? Ew. Ew, he thinks I'm gross. And you know what? He's probably not wrong. Oh, Ocean, you asked if I was getting Donnies. I think I'm going to have to like strong arm Nicole into going in the next couple days, because let me tell you, I like kind of care a little bit. It's fun when Pokemon, when they do like the McDonald's cards, but like the McDonald's cards, like the cards never look good. Like they don't make like chase card. They should make a chase card that just looks like sick beyond all imagination. But they know that like literal children are gonna touch these with like fried grease covered fingers and spill like sweet and sour sauce on them. And if they provided anything of like any actual value, that like somebody, the sub alert was silent. Oh, that's my mistake. Yup. I fixed it. Shoot, thank you so much for the 20 months Prime sub. I borked it hard. I'm really sorry. Shoot, I apologize. What's a way in which I can say I'm sorry? Thank you. Wait, what's up? How dare I forget something while having a life outside of the stream? I mean, no, it was. I think it was just a thing in the stream, because I told you I had my buttons that I realized that I had like I just turned the game audio off. I was like, oh, we're playing video games, which means that I don't have to have the computer audio on, but the sub alerts run through the same audio channel as the computer audio, which means that even if we're playing like a Switch game, like a console game, that I need to have the computer audio on, and I just turned it off. It was just 1,000,000% my fault. Like, I just made an oopsie whoopsie. That's my bad. I mean, like, if you want to, like, hang me up on a clothesline and whip me until I'm raw, that's... I understand. Again, I feel very bad because this is a situation in which, I want to make sure that you're getting, your happy little, like, you guys are getting your little happy little dopamine hits, right? You use your Prime sub here. You want to hear, meow, who are you? And then, like, and if we have it set up right now, you also get your text to speech that we literally just turned on, which, if it works, would allow you to have that. And I just took that away from you. So I apologize. That's my bad. I'm the bad one here. No. I'm not saying I want this to happen. In fact, I would not want this to happen. This is the opposite of what I want. Anywho, we were talking about, I did get sidetracked. The Pokemon cards themselves I've never been that excited about. It's kind of cool. I kind of like actually when they do like the toys over the cards. The cards are like whatever. But like when you can go and get like a Reshiram or a Zekrom, like that's pretty cool. Well, are they doing right now? It's you get a card with the toy though, right? It's both. They usually do both, right? You get both, because they don't just go, here's your Happy Meal, idiot. Here's a little piece of cardboard. People don't care about a little piece of cardboard. It's probably both. So I'm probably more excited, I guess, in that case. I probably prefer the toy. The card is whatever, but the most important thing here is that because Pokemon TCG Pocket is the big thing right now that Nintendo is trying to push, as it is the most recent Pokemon product that has come out to market. If you go to McDonald's and you buy a Happy Meals, you get Pack Hourglasses and Wonder Hourglasses. I'm assuming you get like a code and then you put the code into the game, I imagine. So here, this is what I want to know is how many Pack and Wonder Hourglasses do you get per code, and how many codes can you put into a singular account? These are the important questions that I need to know, because I need to know how many times do I need to go to McDonald's in the next like 4 weeks, and not just go for like chicken nuggies or like a cheeseburger, but like how many times do I specifically have to like buy a Happy Meal? Because like, I'm of age now, that I am of age now that I can like go through a McDonald's drive-thru, and if I buy a Happy Meal, I can like let the person on the other side of the window assume that it is for the child that I could have, but don't have. But like sometimes I feel like they see right through me and they go, this fucking dork. This dork's here for the Pokemon shit. He can't fool me. Cause I did in fact go when they were doing the Hello Kitty Yu-Gi-Oh toys. I did get a couple of those. Which I think are in storage right now because I did move across the country. I don't order 15 at a time. I usually like, it's like I'm ordering like a meal, whatever. And then like, oh, also a Happy Meal, or, you know, or like I'm just getting the Happy Meal, and then they go, no one at McDonald's is paid enough to care. I don't know. I definitely, like, I have those thoughts. Like, it's just like the anxieties that live inside my head where I'm like, they know this isn't for me, and I'm being judged right now for being an adult man buying a Happy Meal, because they know that I'm not doing it for a reason of like, oh, look, I'm like trying to watch my figure, you know, I'm only gonna have, like, I'm gonna be a little bad and I'm gonna get McDonald's, but I'm only gonna get a little bit of McDonald's so I can kind of offset it. They know I'm not doing something like that. They're like, this nerd is here for the nerd toys. And I'm like, they can just see right through me. It's so transparent. They know I'm here for the nerd toys. Yeah. What's this? To be frank, they probably get like 20 people every hour buying Happy Meals for the Pokemon stuff. Probably. Those voices don't deserve to live in my head rent free. They need to pay. They should. No, the one, man, we're gonna, it's Pokemon time. This is like full Goop Brain. So we're gonna go full Goop Brain. So that's like the one, right? Is like I'm here to get the nerd thing out of the Happy Meal and I'm being judged for it. The one that I have happen more sometimes is like, because I, you know, have a wife, and, you know, so many of these things, like these ordering things are like, you know, if it was like the 1990s, you know, and wife sent me to get food, I would just be sent with a list, and I would have to go talk to a human, and I would have to tell them all the food that we wanted. But now I can walk up to a window and I can go, not walk up, drive up, because they get really mad if you walk up. But I can drive up to the window and I can go, hey, I have an order for Nicole. And she could be not with me in the car. And when that happens, sometimes I have like the wondering if if the person giving me the food or whatever, just like where I go, hi, I have an order for Nicole. And they look at me, and then they look at the thing that says Nicole, and they look back at me, and they go like, I'm just like, do they realize that I'm picking up something for my wife? Or do they think that I'm like very early into a transition and not passing whatsoever? Because I'm like, I don't think it's that one, right? But they're being very nice about it, where they're like, oh yes, of course, Nicole, here's your food, Nicole. I'll support you, but you need to try harder. You need to try so much harder. Oh, see, that could be the other side of it. You're right, Seb. Perfect. Yes. I could be super far into transition, but I haven't changed my name. But typically, I feel like the name change comes first. But you know, that is just in my like very limited worldview. Nothing says the name change can't come last. But I do. And I've told Nicole that before, and she's like, there's absolutely no way anybody is thinking that. It's like me causing confusion when you go to the doctor giving your birth. Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. Fair. Everybody's journey is different. True. Very true. See, like, yeah, I think that would be a thing where you like, yeah, if you're at like the DMV, or if you're at like the doctor, where you like I don't mean intentionally, but just like because of like having to be form factor, where you just end up dead naming yourself. But I feel like McDonald's is the first place where like you would go, I'm gonna try this out and see how it feels. And like the employee is gonna comment, like, you know, especially like if you, I don't know, like if you go to like a no, Chipotle is not a good example. What would it, like maybe like a witch, you know, you write your name on the bag, you hand it to them, they send it down the line, and then at the end they call your name, and you go, they have to call the name that's on the bag. And they get people in here that are like, Nosferatu, come get your sub. So like, you know, if I want to go in there and call myself Deborah, like, they're just gonna deal. They're gonna have to. And then I'm gonna make them wonder, like, was Deborah his wife, or is Deborah on the beginning of a long and powerful journey? Starbucks is a good one. Oh, that's a great one. Was that you tried at Starbucks? Oh, so you know how it's gonna be botched. So you know, I guess I really dodged a bullet. As somebody who is as we say in this chat, painfully straight. I guess I really dodged a bullet because I freaking hate coffee. I wouldn't be able to do that. I don't go to Starbucks. Wait, what's this? Wait till you have non-binary friends with non-binary names and you go to a coffee shop and the barista has to call it... Wait, call it the names Bright and Smash. Those... Seb, I'm sorry, you don't have non-binary friends. You have Nintendo games! Those are Nintendo games! Hey, y'all, I think, you know, if you guys are hanging out in chat, this goes, kind of without saying, but I do want to say, you know, I really don't I don't want to get into it too much, because it really just is like, I can't do it. And I just have to live and just try to just not be angry literally every minute of every day for the next 4 years. But Mr. Crimes did a thing today. And it's I want to say, like, first off, very uncool. Second off, so hilariously off base that he may have Mr. Crimes may have accidentally signed something that states that everybody in the United States is biologically female, which is very funny, very, very funny. But more importantly, I do want to say, of course, you all know that in this space, in this community, of course, we respect non-binary individuals, we respect trans individuals, and y'all are safe here. And if somebody were to come in and be like, but Mr. Crime said, we'd be like, get the fuck out. So I just want to let you know, not that you don't already know. I think I've at least lived by a specific example of the community that I've built over the last 4 years and the kind of person that I've been on stream. But you know, in a let's say like a dark day like this, I do want to remind you that you are loved and you do have a place and you are valid and you are respected and you are loved, and that place is here. So just remember that, okay? That's again, being painfully straight, I cannot pretend to understand the hardship and the struggle that days like today are, and days like today can bring. But I do want to let you know that at least you got a place where it's cool. And that's all I gotta say about that. Kingdom Traveler, welcome in. Hello. How are you doing? You asked me how I was, and then all I did was go, "How are you?" I'm good. You know, I'm great. I'm having a blast. I'm sitting here live on Twitch.tv, running around in circles, trying to find a Pokemon that is slightly more blue than the normal blue that the Pokemon is. 'Cause I'm living my best life. I don't know what else to tell you. So that's what's going on with me. Was that doing all right? Could be better. Ah, bummer. Wait, mixing some RPGs with some stream watching. What RPG you playing? What Erpaga are you working on? Streaming or YouTube or podcasts are like perfect RPG games, of course, like when you're grinding and stuff. I've talked about it like a little bit, right? I've been Genshin Impact Metaphor. Metaphor! Yes! Yes! Man, look, it was, I basically, my brain made the decision. I was watching the Game Awards and I was watching Metaphor Sweep happen, and I was sitting here going, Metaphor is probably winning Game of the Year. I should probably start playing it. And so I bought it that night. It didn't win Game of the Year. Astrobot won, which is fine. But yeah, you like, I've never like played like a, the only, let's say it this way, because I don't want to say I've never Persona'd. The only Atlas game that I've played is Catherine, which is definitively not an RPG. It is a puzzle platformer. And I've not done any of the Personas. And I know that Metaphor is not a Persona game per se, that it is a Persona-ish game, but doing its own thing. I think it's great. I think I've played, I know from what I've looked up, I'm like past the, and I can't believe I'm saying this, like I'm probably like 13, 14 hours into the game. I'm past the demo, but I don't think by much. Because the demo for the game is like just shockingly long. Like they give you a lot of game to play. Like when I kept like kind of looking stuff up and I was like, wait a minute, I'm not past the demo yet. Like I didn't, and not that I played the demo, but the demo is just the beginning of the game. You're about 50 hours in and about to fight a major enemy. Okay. So I can put it in like really, really good terms. So where I'm at is, and I basically like saved at the first opportunity that I had. I am at the point in the game where you start like you get your vessel with which into like travel across the kingdom, and I have gotten to like the first place that you go to once you get that, and I like know that I basically like I have a goal there. I'm talking in very vague terms if there's people who are playing the game and don't want to be spoiled. I am there where it's like there's a very specific thing that you have to do in order before you go to like the next major city. So that is where I'm at. And if I'm understanding correctly, the demo, I don't know where I would need to look to where the demo cuts off, but the demo you get to play up through like the first like major dungeon. Which is like over 10 hours into the game. It's like they give you so, like, they shouldn't give you that much game for free, but they do. The demo ends halfway through the dungeon. Oh, really? Oh, okay, that makes sense, because if I was halfway through the dungeon, I sure as hell would want to buy the full game in order to finish the dungeon. I didn't realize that that's how they did it. That does make sense, because there's like a lot of story stuff that happens afterwards, but hoo-wee. What game are we talking about? Metaphor Refantasio. The hit Atlas RPG from last year. Yeah, I'm just like, I'm not like usually like a big JRPG guy. I'm usually like not like, just like turn-based RPG mechanics. I'm typically like not like super into. It's typically not my kind of bag, but there's something about Metaphor, like with the way, I think, and I understand that the system. Oh, why can't I think of what it's called? It's not the Metaphor system. The archetype system. Like, I know that it's kind of reminiscent of like the old like Final Fantasy like job system. But I don't know, there's like something that really tickles my brain about like the way in which like you have the ability for like basically any of your characters to be like any archetype, and doing the thing where like when you're doing attacks, like you can jump back and forth between like the front and the back row, and doing the thing like when you are on like when you're on the overworld, where you can like attack monsters like in real time and dodge their attacks in order to get like the attack of opportunity. But then like if you screw up, like it's really bad. It's like really, I really like it. It's really cool. And then yeah, also I really love the way that they do stuff where you can end up taking like half turns is really neat. Like you know, like the way that like with the archetypes where it's like, oh, you can use the abilities and the abilities take a turn, but you can do the team up abilities and the team up abilities take 2 turns. But if you get like if you're playing the weakness system and you do an attack that an enemy's weak to, then you only do half turns. So you can hit an enemy with one of those big attacks, and if they're weak to it, then you only used like 2 half turns, and you're getting like all this extra like battle, and it's just like the little puzzle aspects of it are like so cool. Oh yes, also that I do like that when you are over leveled, you can defeat enemies on the field without having to fight, is so nice, because you can go through older areas and it's like not a problem. I have one major complaint about the game, and it maybe not major. It is definitely like in a game like this that's so big and so long already, I don't really like games that like waste my time. And I kind of realized that, and maybe I'm like overworking it too hard, but the way in which they design the dungeons is like, you're supposed to go in, you have like a you know, your like mana and stuff, and you're supposed to get through these fights, and if you kind of like run out of resources, they expect you to just like leave the dungeon and come back the next day. But since the whole game is on like a timer, then that's one like less day that you have to do stuff. And so like the workaround is that I kind of realized this is like I have like my main character is I have their main class right now is like mage. And when you're the mage, I like that also, by the way, that the archetype of the main character is gives you different attacks on the overworld that also give you like little abilities. And so the mage has it to when you kill things in the overworld, your party gets 1 MP back. And that 1 MP is enough that like in the first dungeon, there is a room that you can infinitely reset that has like a bunch of like low level like wolves in it. And so you can run around and you can kill like 25 wolves and get 25 MP and reset the room and walk back in and kill 25 more wolves and get 25 more MP. So then this way you don't have to like leave the dungeon, waste a day and come back the next day, but it does waste your time. And I'm like, if you're giving me a way to kind of like cheese the system, I'd rather you just make it that like when you go to those resting rooms that I just get my MP back, because I'm effectively doing the same thing just so much longer. And so that like that's like the one thing that's really throwing me off is I'm like, especially when they go, oh, this is a room that's like protected by Magla and you can come here and you can rest. And I'm like, well, if I can rest, then I should be able to get my MP back. But that's like like I said, you know, that's the only thing that I'm like a little iffy on. And I'm sure that like once I get enough money that it's like not gonna be as big of a deal because I can just like go and buy, hopefully. I actually haven't found a place that you can do it yet, but I'm assuming I can just buy a bunch of like mana potions, and then rather than having to do the mage trick, I can just use my mana potions and that's fine. But yeah, I mean, especially in the early game when you don't really have access to that. I too also got through the dungeon in 1 day. And I did just about everything that I wanted to do. The only thing that kind of sucked is that there was there's the one like optional dungeon that you can do when you're doing the first main dungeon. It's where you talk to the one woman who runs the I forget what they're called, like the magic wands in the game. They're not wands, but whatever they're called, the arc staffs or whatever the hell they're called. Igniters, that's what they are, igniters. The lady that runs the igniter shop, and then she's like, oh, go to this dungeon and kill this thing for me. So I had gone I had gone to the dungeon, and it's like the one like the Minotaur thing. And I definitely went like way too early. And so I couldn't beat the Minotaur at the time. So I had to leave. And then after I beat the first main dungeon, and I was like in the waiting period before the next like major, you know, oh, on the 26th, there's going to be the big announcement or whatever. I went and did the thing that let me, you know, I went back and I fought the Minotaur, but then with just the way that the game went, it kind of like, I think I did it on like the day before the big day. So then with the big day, it was like, okay, and we're shooing you here, and we're shooing you there, and we're shooing you there. And now you're out of this town, and you're traveling 4 days away. And I go, well, I guess I'm not going to get the rewards for killing that Minotaur right now. I guess I'm not going to get rewarded for that until the next time I return to this city. And I don't know how long away that is. Magic replenishing items have limited numbers you can buy. Oh, that sucks. So yeah, so the mage trick is going to continue to be useful, and it's just going to get worse. It's going to get so much worse because you're just going to get so much more and more magic. Like, you're just going to have higher and higher MP bars. So to effectively do that trick, it's just gonna take longer and longer to farm enemies, and I just want to. Oh, maybe I'll just skip the day. Oh, I don't know. It was already pretty miserable right now when it's like, oh yeah, what's that? I need to replenish like 150 MP. Oh no. Oh no. But the game's super fun though. The story is ridiculous. The story is ridiculous, but I also kind of dig it. It's real cool. It's very JRPG. Just like real ridiculous, like high fantasy stuff, and it's cool. It's also just like nice. I feel like really since like streaming, I just like don't sit down as much and just like play video games for me. And like most of the time, if I'm like playing a video game for me, it's like my like non-story stuff, you know, things like Marvel Snap is a game that I play all the time. You know, that's for me. It's on my phone. It's real easy. But I'm really bad about being like, oh, I'm gonna play a game with like a plot and a story, and I'm just gonna do it off stream, and I'm just gonna do it for myself, and it doesn't have to be content, and I don't have to work through it with chat, and I don't have to listen to chat, make recommendations about how I should be building my party. I could just be wrong on my own. And it's kind of nice. It's kind of nice to play something kind of chill like that. Chad, that's not saying I don't love playing games with y'all. Of course I love playing games with y'all. That's why I'm here, right? That's why I'm here. But yeah, I mean, it's I feel like it's been so long since I've like just like let myself have a game for me. That's cool. And especially right now in comparison to something like you know, where I'm building a YouTube channel. I'm not leaving. Of course not. But you know, like where I'm like building a YouTube channel around like Marvel Rivals, right? Where I'm like, oh, I'm like trying to I'm trying to like do this thing where one game is like a, you know, a lifestyle, and is, you know, I'm making content for it, and it's, you know, almost treating it like a job. And so it's like, oh yeah, like, you know, I'm streaming with y'all and playing stuff, and then doing that and making content for it. And so yeah, it's like really, really nice and like in this moment to just go like, and this is for me. If I have like a night that I'm not streaming and I just go like, I'm just gonna sit on the couch for 2 hours and play this game. So yeah, I feel like I'm gonna go through Metaphor like really, really slowly, because I'm only probably playing it like a couple hours a night, a couple nights a week. But that means I just get to enjoy it for a long time. Ew. Still disgusted. Regice is disgusted because the number is almost at 300. We're almost at a... What's that movie with the Spartans? Meet the Spartans. We're almost at the Meet the Spartans number. What's that? You'll get lots of chances to develop courage via various quests. I'll get to develop courage via my Digimon crest. As long as I have the right one, of course, if I'm the correct Digi-destined. Was that a TK's? Was he the one that got courage? Allowed him to have Angemon? Okay, you want to say that was TK? Oh, I was right. I called it. I called it right. For a second, you thought that was a serious question? No, I mean, I kind of like, I wanted to make sure I was speaking correctly, yeah. The TK was the one that had the crest of courage. I don't remember most of the rest of them. There was like crest of hope, crest of whitening breath strip. Made the dentist happy and your teeth smell clean. Does it matter the order you turn the lights on? Fortunately, it does not. I can do it in whatever order I gosh dang please. Crest of Anja woman. She was there. That cat sure turned into a hot angel lady. I watched it happen. Yeah, because I could do this one, that one, that one, that one, this one, then come around for that one and do that one, and it still turns on just fine. Crest of D's? I don't remember. Was D one of the Digidestined? What was D's crest? Crest of Courage was Ty. Oh, Crest of Hope was TK. Okay. I'm having like, yeah, like Ty, yeah, because Ty was the leader. He was the one that had Agumon. He's the kid in the blue shirt and the hair. Then there was, what was it? It was Ty, it was Matt, Sora was Mimi, Joe, was there like an Izzy or something? Who was the one that had I always wanted to call Joe Ralph. Ralph Machi Joe. Thought Don Young was the leader of the bunch. No, it was Ty. Izzy was the nerd with Tenamon, yeah, who turns into Kabuterimon, who turns into Hercules Kabuterimon. Yeah, so did I get them all? Yeah, because there were 7, but then there were 8, right? There's Ty. There was Matt. There was Izzy. There was Sora. She was the one with the bird. There's Mimi. There was Joe. There was TK. Oh, and it was the 7, and then Kyrie was the 8th, right? Is that how it worked? What about Chunky? He can't do the Chunky. He's dead. There was a Joe, right? I'm not getting that right. Oh yeah, because I was confusing. I was like, wasn't Joe the Digimon Emperor in the 2nd series? No, that was Ken Ichijoji. Lanky, Cranky, Candy, Dixie, Diddy, Kitty, Junior, Funky. Can't forget new Funky mode. It was really easy because Funky had the crest of Funky. Oh, are we going with the English and the Japanese names? I watched this when I was like 8, so I was watching the dub. Yeah, Ty, Matt, Joe, Mimi, Sora, TK, Kyrie, and Izzy. I got them all. Yeah, Joe had Gabumon. Or no, Gomamon. Oh, Gomamon, that's it. Gomamon was the one that became... Wait, Greymon? No. Agumon became Greymon. Oh, to see the Digimon names are always like, what was that? And then The second series was I know it was Kyrie and TK, but older, and then some other people, and then they were fighting the Digimon Emperor, but then the Digimon Emperor ended up being like their classmate, and then they ended up befriending the Digimon Emperor, and it was all cool and stuff. Davis and Vmon. His name was Davis? Isn't Vmon the third series? No. That was Guillemon, was the third series guy. You're right, it was. Vmon was the... Yeah, I don't know. What's try? Like, cause I don't know what the actual names of the series are. I just remember watching them. Digimon. I typed Dooguwib. I was Digimon. What is Digimon Try? Oh, for the 15th anniversary of Digimon, it looks like. Try is the original kids back in like high school. Oh. So the original kids, but not the second series though. Cause the stuff with Vmon, with Davis and Vmon, it like has the original kids in it. And occasionally you'll see like Mimi or Sora again, but it's mostly Kyrie and TK. Then there's the one, see the one that I always liked. I liked the third series. I thought was really good. The one where it was, which I thought was just like such a cool idea. It was why I thought like Digimon was cool, where I was like, because the concept behind the third series is that the first two Digimon series were, okay, look. It is the series where they merge with the Digimon, but it's still good because, and I'll tell you why. It's because I loved the concept of like, you know, as me, like a impressionable kid at that age being like, I want one of these fantasy worlds to be real. I want to have Pokemon or, you know, I want to go to the digital world. I want to shoot spirit guns like Yusuke Urameshi, you know, like all that kind of stuff. But like when you're that age where you're like, this probably can't happen, but maybe it could. All these crazy anime kids, this stuff happens to them when they're like 11 or 12. It could happen to me. Tamers is the one I'm referring to as the third series. Yeah, that's Tamers, right? With where they're like the original Digidestin and all that stuff. Digimon was a TV show and a media property. It's not real. And then you find out that like, wait a minute, it was real. And the kid like designs his own Digimon. He's like, this is Guillemon. He sounds like a baby and he has the mental capacity of a 2-year-old. But what a great Digimon he would be. And then there's Rika, who like yeah, she's the I forget her actress's name, but it's the same girl who voices Gaz in Invader Zim. And she had Renamon, and Renamon was so cool. So cool. Remember Zatch Bell? I remember seeing commercials for Zatch Bell and then definitively not watching it. So I remember it like in very, very vague terms. Wait, Zatch Bell didn't end in America? Oh no, good thing I never started. I think Digimon games are fun, but Digimon shows were weird. I haven't like really gone back and watched Digimon since I was like a literal child. I the monsters are super strange in Digimon because like things can just turn into things that don't at all look like the things that they were beforehand. Whereas like Pokemon at least has a general entomology that it follows. I remember that there was like Entomon. There was just a monkey who sounded kind of like Elvis Presley running around. Like that was a thing. Digimon was weird. The thing I thought was interesting was that like, I feel like, because 4Kids, especially since like Pokemon became such like a product, and 4Kids was the way that it was, where 4Kids dubs like really Americanized things. The Digimon was kind of interesting because Digimon felt like a little more definitively Japanese than Pokemon did. But like, those are just the things I remember from being a kid, not necessarily things that I could like stand by now. Can we watch the 4Kids One Piece dub? Yo, 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 oh, yo, oh. His name is Luffy. That's Monkey D. Luffy. He'll be king of the pirates. He's made of rubber. How did that happen? Yo, ho, ho, he took a bite of gum gum. Yo, let me tell you a story that's all about a treasure in the Grand Line with no doubt. A bunch of pirates were doing their thing, and one of them wanted to be the pirate king. Yo, 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 oh, oh, oh. Set sail for One Piece. It's the name of the treasure in the Grand Line. Set sail for One Piece. Yeah, we can watch the 4Kids tub. Yeah, man, let me tell you how much One Piece I watched. Like, basically none of it. So, I don't remember anything about it. So because Shonen Jump started getting an American version right as I was watching Yu-Gi-Oh! I had to get Shonen Jump, right? So because of that, my first introduction to One Piece was reading it. Was reading like the early, because it was in Shonen Jump, and I thought it was like pretty cool. I was like, there's a pirate named Zolo, which basically means they're saying he's Zoro. And he uses not 2, but 3 swords, and he holds one of them between his butt cheeks or whatever. Or like in between his teeth or whatever, you know, just like he's got to put the 3rd sword somewhere. Sometimes it's between his teeth, sometimes it's between his butt. He makes sure that the teeth sword isn't the butt sword. You know, it's kind of like a hot swap. It's like, all right, I got to move the butt sword. I got to move the 3rd sword from the back to the front. All right, this sword goes in the mouth. Now the butt sword comes in the hand. Let's go. You never just take the mouth sword and go straight to the behind. If you do, you got way bigger problems on your hand than taking a bite of gum gum. Yo, yo, yo. Set sail for butt sword. Sovitan, thank you for the follow. Sorry, this is the moment you chose to follow. But it's nice to see you here all the same. Oh god. Zoro could wield 4 swords if he wasn't a coward. He could play 4 Swords Adventures all by himself. Yo, yo, yo. Got a sword in the mouth and a sword in the butt. That's the name of the treasure in my Grand Line. My son-in-law is screaming about butt swords at 11:30 on a Tuesday. First, wait. I'm sorry. Are you talking with my mother-in-law right now? They don't hear what I'm doing. They don't care. I'm far enough. Look, the house is big enough. I'm far enough away from them. They're not listening to my conversations. It's fine. Nicole used to listen to my conversations from across the house, but that was because the house was empty. She doesn't overhear my conversations with you guys anymore because she's busy dealing with like 4 other people. So it's it's fine. She chose it. That's true. She chose it. My in-laws chose to house us. They didn't have to make that. They didn't have to do that. They could have said, die in the cold. It's -3 right now. Go die in the cold. But they said, nah, we'll keep you. It's fine. Greetings from Germany. Oh, that's awesome. Welcome in. Hello back to you from America. You remember the fanfics from RTX? This is the least weird stuff. Yeah, look. That's a different lifetime, though. That's a totally different life. You know, that's a different world. Hold on. If somebody's mother-in-law played Yu-Gi-Oh, that would be a mill deck. Shut up. Shut your face. Look, Yu-Gi-Oh, like... Look, any deck you play in Yu-Gi-Oh is a mill deck because you get through like 60% of your deck in one turn. I got my mother-in-law to play Marvel Snap, and I gave her a deck with Yondu, Misery, Baron Zemo, and Cable. Because she needed to play a mill deck. It's stupid. So stupid. So stupid. Y'all, I'm happy I can play Marvel Snap again. Snap is back. Snap came back last night. Sometime after. No. Was it back? No, it was back by the time that we had stream last night. It was back. It's nice to have my child back. I'm happy. It was a rough 2 days without Marvel Snap. Let me tell you. So I understood how people, because I saw people being like, I realized I was an addict because in the 14 hours it was gone. I tried to open TikTok like 6 times absent-mindedly. And I was like, well, I didn't do that because I hate it. But Marvel Snap, I did try to open about 4 times. Did CapCut return? I don't know. I don't, like, honestly, I didn't pay attention to CapCut or like Lemonade because those things didn't affect me. So I don't know. Marvel Snap came back, and that was the only one I cared about. TikTok came back and I yawned. Marvel Snap came back and I was like, this is the real stuff. And then, yeah, and then Snap came back and they were like, we're getting a new publisher because that ain't happening again. I'm not dealing with that one more time. Need to give Snap another chance. TCG Pocket's been fun, but it's another phone game. Yeah, it kind of, I would say it kind of depends where you're at within Snap. I think like, I've been playing Snap since launch. And I think that like I could recommend to any human being, play the game for about, because they just changed it so you get through Series 3 a lot faster. Play the game for about at least like the first 4 months, I think will be definitively good. And then once you're Series 3 complete, then the game is like significantly worse. But yeah, I really like it still. I think it's really good. What about Gwent? I never played The Witcher, so I never played Gwent. That's like asking me how deep I am into Blitzball. So what was this? I had a Magic the Gathering deck that only used ghosts, and I called it a medium. Boo. Boo. Well, I say give it 4 months, because, oh, fake panda dealer, thank you for the follow. Weird, I feel like there's been a, and this is not a bad thing, I feel like there's been an uptick in panda-related accounts following this Twitch account this week. I saw another one a few days ago. That one that followed like in the off hours, so I like opened OBS and it was like 8 hours ago. Panda Shmanda Banda followed you. Yeah, we got a real panda uprising happening here. I'm not against it. I'm here for my new panda overlords. It's fine. Wait. You want drugs that are panda related? Oh, is that what panda dealing is about? I'm good. No, I'm fine. I feel like before I'm taking panda drugs, I'd have to at least like smoke a cigarette first. I'd have to be like, ah, yes, this is why people get addicted to nicotine. It's good. Now let me try some of the panda drugs. Let me, hold on. It's panda drugs. Let me shoot up, but CHUTE. It's like an 8-ball with a cute panda. Yeah, are you getting humans high off of panda parts, or are you getting pandas high for humans to watch? Are the drugs for the pandas or for the humans? Sometimes. Why not both? Get a kitchen job, smoking's a requirement. No. See, I would do that because I know that like a big part of it is that you need to smoke so that you can get your like cigarette breaks. But I would totally be one of those dorks who was like, I'm gonna protect my lungs and I'm gonna go for my clean air break now. I just want to break. I just want to break. They only started smoking to get breaks at McDonald's. This is gonna sound like a euphemism, but the only thing I've ever even attempted to smoke in my life was a Swiss cake roll. I forget if I've talked about this on stream. I was talking about it with Nicole recently. My sophomore year of college. So this was like when Nicole and I weren't dating yet, but we would have been like courting each other at the time, I guess you could say. We're like kind of into each other, kind of feeling it out. So it was the end of the semester, and I had a buddy in college uh, who I'll, you know, not that I'm saying anything incriminating, but like, you know, just I'll just like make up like a name. Like we'll call him Mitch. So Mitch was like super chill dude, and he literally I'm not doing anything bad, so I don't know why I'm like making up a fake name. But it was the end of the semester, and Mitch was like, I want to celebrate the end of the semester. So I bought like nice cigars. And so like our group of friends, like a few of us went to kind of like this little like place that was kind of like the little like downtown area for like our college, where like college kids could go hang out, that, you know, walkable from campus. So we're down there and we're in front of like the local coffee shop. And he's like, you know, yeah, like I got like these celebratory cigars. So like, you know, I want to see, you know, like if anyone wants to, you know, cigar with me. And so like a couple of my other friends were like, yeah, I'll take a cigar. And I'm like, no, I'm good. I don't want to, you know, like I've never smoked anything. I don't need to start now. But I didn't want to be like left out. So, and for the life of me, I do not know why like I had this on me. I think it must have been like a situation. I don't know if you're like, you know, colleges worked like this, but like when I was in college, when I lived in the dorms, I had a meal card. And the way the meal card worked is that like for a meal, you had like a certain amount of money that you were given for that meal. And so like if you didn't like spend that money, you lost it. So they would have like little things in the different like, you know, food courts and stuff, you know, that you could buy. So I mean, like you could get like little snacks and stuff. So I think from that I had like a Swiss cake roll, you know, the little Debbie snack that is like a little like chocolate cake thing rolled up with a little cream in the middle. And I was like, well, you guys are, you know, smoking your cigars. Let me see if I could like light up the end of a Swiss cake roll and what would happen if I did that. So, you know, they had a lighter on them because they were smoking cigars. So I took the lighter. So I took the Swiss cake roll out of the package. I lit the end of it. I got it like, you know, like nice and, you know, I was trying to, you know, see if I could actually set it on fire so that it would smoke. As it turns out, hard to set a Swiss cake roll on fire. It doesn't really work. But the like heat of the flame kind of like warmed the Swiss cake roll and just like made it like a nice little like you know, cooked little thing. And so it was actually delicious. But I didn't get any sort of you know, smoke situation from it. I was not able to inhale smoked cream. But I did make the Swiss cake roll a little warm, and it just tasted a little bit better. And that was the best Swiss cake roll I ever had in my life. Wait, this is the most Larry story. Yes, it is. Yes, it absolutely is. It's 1,000,000% a Larry story. Smoking that Swiss cake roll is the closest I have gotten to doing drugs in my entire life. That's the closest. Butane always makes cake better. You should try it. Grab a go to the next time you're at the grocery store, grab a little Debbie Swiss cake roll and get like a Bic lighter and light the end of the Swiss cake roll and try it out. And you'll be like, oh, Larry's onto something here. Larry wasn't wrong. Larry knew what he was talking about. Is taking communion not doing a drug? What? Because I get high on Christ? No, communion wine. We don't need to go into this again, right? Catholicism communion wine was the only underage drinking I ever did, and like, let me tell you, I think it's intentional because you have a sip of communion wine and you're gonna be like, alcohol must be awful forever. Just terrible. It's so bad. No, I don't need to tell on myself. I will. I've told on myself before. I've told this story. I'll tell it again. I don't care. I know who I am and I don't regret who I am. When I was 19, at the end of my freshman year of college, through these like humanities classes that I had taken in college, I had a chance to go on a 2-week school trip to Italy. We spent a week in Florence and we spent a week in Rome. And I did not have a sip of alcohol. I did not try any Italian wines or any sort of, drink. And I did not take advantage of the fact that I could legally drink, because drinking was illegal in my country. So I felt like I didn't want to go get away with something by drinking in another country. That's the kind of, look, if you asked me this day and age, should I have had a alcoholic beverage of some sort? The answer is like, yeah, I probably should have. I really should have taken advantage of that. But I didn't. I would say probably I should have, but not like, oh man, I'm an idiot for not doing it. That felt the opposite when I was in America when I was 18 and was told by my friends I couldn't try their drink. Oh yeah, because it would have been illegal in America, but legal in Germany. Yeah. That's 100% the opposite. And then and you're totally in the right to be like, this sucks. Excuse me, what? Florence is amazing. Florence is amazing. Yes. I'll tell you, I went to Florence, and I've told this before too. I went to Florence at exactly the best time that I could have gone to Florence. And I think we need to bring up a timeline of events. Let's see. Okay, here's what you need to know, right? I got into college, my freshman year of college would have been fall of 2019. Oh my God, fall of 2009. So here's how things went, right? Fall of 2009, I'm going to my freshman year of college. On November 17th, 2009, Assassin's Creed 2 released. In the summer of 2010, I went to Florence, Italy. I could not have done it better, because let me tell you, being like, wow, I'm Ezio Auditore da Firenze, I'm running down the streets of Florence, Italy, isn't this crazy? Whoa, we're in the Middle Ages. Whoa, Da Vinci, is that you? Whoa. Like, where it's just like hundreds and hundreds of years ago. And then you go to Florence and you're like, I'm walking the streets that I walked in the part of Assassin's Creed when you're in Florence. This is insane. We spent a week in Florence and we spent a week in Rome. And Rome is super cool. because like Rome is this weird hodgepodge where like they have like all these you know, like buildings that are 1,000 years old, and you can go to like the Colosseum, and you can go to like these like old ass churches, and you can like and go to like all these like super historical monuments, but then like it's also like a city that just like has like modern transportation, because the city is also like been modernized. Florence is a city that you like can't drive a car through because they went, we're not changing this. We built these roads for horses, as you can see in Assassin's Creed 2. We didn't build these roads for cars, and we're not gonna build the roads for cars. That would require us to pull down these 1,000-year-old buildings. So Florence is just like this city that you like have to walk, because like cars just can't go through it, and it's so cool. It's so cool. And you could go, hey, and then like I'm just like, it's me, I'm Ezio, and I jumped off a building and like, you know, yeah, and I'm like, where's my haystack? And then just like hit the ground, hit the cobblestones, and bled out. It was cool. Didn't get Rome. You want to see the ruin? Wait, we got pushed out of the way because a banker needed to get to work. I mean, that's basically what Rome is. Yeah, that's pretty much how Rome was. Like Rome was cool, but I preferred Florence because Florence was like, oh, you're like meant to explore a city out of time, and Rome was like, you're these ancient buildings are really in the way of our modern day trappings. Europe is often, here's an ancient building older than the city. Anyway, here's a McDonald's. Yes, very true. At least from my limited experience. I would love to see more like Europe. I think it'd be really, really cool. America just doesn't have that like same kind of America was just built different. So like, yeah, yeah, actually, oh, hey, Picolay2022, thank you for the follow, cha-cha. Venice, wait, well, Venice is lovely, but you need to get out of the pure tourist area. We had an opportunity. I ended up doing something else because it was like when we were in Florence, there was like a day where it was like you can go to Venice and you can spend like half a day in Venice, but that's it. Or you can stay in Florence and there was like something else that like you could do. And I thought that the thing staying in Florence sounded cooler, so I missed out on Venice. And it sounded like, yeah, like the people who went to Venice were not like thrilled about it. Yeah, US built different. I don't mean that in a good way. Like that's but okay, so here's like a little, I'll give you a little behind the scenes of the final days of Rooster Teeth, just because like it lines up with this. There was a thing we were gonna do for Dog Bark that we ended up not doing, because we thought it was gonna be a really good opportunity, and it turned out like not to be. And I can't tell you the name of it, because I don't remember. But in the middle of Austin, there's this area that is like kind of like one of those like 1800s homestead kind of things. Just like there's like an area of land and they have like a bunch of old buildings, And like basically what they've done is that like they've like literally like imported like buildings into the area, like old buildings that were gonna get torn down, and they go like, well, instead of tearing them down, let's move them over here. And then they, you know, they do stuff where, you know, like you can go and you can like learn how to like make like, you know, olden time soap or like butter, or and you can see how people cooked in like the 1850s. Or the really cool part of it was you can do like they have like a forge, and you can do like metalwork stuff there. Really like that stuff was like blacksmithing. That's the word for it. I'm like, what is it called? You can do like blacksmithing stuff. So, and like the reason that we found out about this was because like there was somebody who had sent like this like handwritten like note to Trevor, and it made it seem like they were like a big fan of like Red Web, in that they were like, you like, I work at this place and like you should definitely like come here and like check it out, and like there's a bunch of like haunted ass buildings and stuff. And so like we went, I think it was like me, Jaren, Cameron, and then like half of the dog barkies. I forget if it was like, I think like Michael, I think it may have been like Michael and Alfredo maybe. I forget which half of the dog bark boys it was. But we went to go check this place out, and you know, like we were kind of going and like seeing everything that they like had to offer. And we were talking about basically like we would go there and like shoot for a day. And basically shoot, you know, like a week's worth of videos where we would do like, oh, like, you know, we'll have like a blacksmithing video, and we'll have like, you know, this thing or that thing, and potentially seeing like if there would be any like crossovers to do some sort of like Red Web thing, like if this went good, or if like Stinky Dragon wanted to go and do like a D&D one shot, you know, at this place. And it all sounded really good, because they were like, you know, and this was the thing that was like, I didn't know which way it was gonna go, because they were like, yeah, you know, like we're used to like people like coming here and like shooting, and like we just had like this big shoot that happened here, and we just had like this big shoot that happened here, and I'm like, they're talking to people with money. But this seemed like perhaps a friendly gesture of like, maybe we could like, you know, do something here as long as we're here for just like a day on like because they were only open to the public like certain days of the week. So maybe like it's like, oh, if we come on like a day that like they're not like open, maybe it won't be like a huge deal. And then they were like, yeah, it's gonna be like $3,000 for the day, and we're like, we don't have that kind of budget for like location. Are you kidding? Like, I forget. I think it was 3. It may have been more. You know what I think it was is they wanted to do like a 3-day thing, and they wanted to charge like $3,000 a day, and we were like, nope, we're done. We don't have that kind of money. But yeah, but the point I'm trying to make though with all that is that like the cool old buildings were like, this is an old church that Elvis Presley sang in when he was on his way to being famous. This building is like 120 years old, and it's just like, and you go, ooh, 120 years old, you say? And it's just like, that's like a sneeze in comparison to Europe, where they go, 120? I live in one of those. Wake me up when the building's 1,200 years old. We're gonna do this one. Ads just turned on. I need to take a break anyway. So while those are running, we're gonna run away from this Regi. We're gonna take a quick break. I'm gonna get up. I'm gonna get stretch. I'm gonna get stretch. I'm gonna get stretch. I'm gonna get up. I'm gonna stretch. I'm gonna get some. I don't want to ride my bicycle. I want to go to the pause menu. I want to go to the pause menu. I guess I'll save. Sure. We're gonna take a quick break. There we go. Jockey. Wait, is Regice uncle from the Jackie Chan Adventures? Jackie. See, and here I thought that Regice was just disappointed at us, but it turns out that Regice might be a very spiritual old man. Hold on, let's check it again. Let's see again. What does it say when we talk to it? Jackie! It does. It definitely says Jackie. Yumo Gwekwe Fighty Zao. Yumo Gwekwe Fighty Zao. I can't believe I didn't hear it this whole time. It'd been funny if we had found Reggie off screen. No, it'd be terrible. It'd be terrible. No. That's the opposite of good. That's very bad. We don't want that. Dude, all the frames are... Can the frames come back? Oh, they're coming back. It's getting a little better. Golly gee willikers. Dude, the stream's been fine. And now here in our final hour, the frame goblins come and gobbled up all the frames. Ah, brother. It'll be okay. One more thing. Ow. Do you know that Jackie Chan didn't voice himself in that show? That was one of those things I thought was weird when I was a kid. But that was just a thing people did. Do you know that the Beatles didn't voice themselves in Yellow Submarine? That one's stranger because I think that the Yellow Submarine Beatles sound closer to the Beatles than Jackie Chan sounds to himself in Jackie Chan Adventures. Wait. What a crazy world this is. I looked up because I was curious, and the castle I can see from my window is 400 years old, so not even that old. What a sentence. What a sentence. If something in America was 400 years old, you would be like, that was made by dinosaurs. Not the mama, because that was made by dinosaurs. I think we need to do a ritual to summon the frames back. It just, look, a lot of the snow melted, but not all the snow melted. I still think it's a condensation issue. It's definitely some sort of cold issue, and it's beyond cold outside now. I mean, it's, as you guys were saying, it was snowing in Texas. Imagine what's happening here in a place where it does regularly snow. Wait, James C. was Jackie Chan? Interesting. Huh. I mean, that makes sense. Yeah, I like, you know. Is the thing that I think the reason I thought it was weird is because they were able to get Jackie Chan to like sit down and talk to kids. And I was like, so you talked to him? Like, I understand as an adult, like I get it, you know. Jackie Chan either didn't want to do it or didn't feel comfortable doing it, or didn't feel like he would have been like able to present himself as you know, a younger man, or he was worried that, you know, he would be able to do it, but like English is not his native language, and you know, it might be weird. Or maybe he just felt like, you know, he wasn't like a voice actor in the same way. So many reasons that he may not have wanted to do it. It may have been a situation that they didn't want him, you know? But like as a child, I didn't understand where I'm like, but you got him to sit down with children, but you couldn't get him to voice himself in the show. What? What? How not? Eek, turn the thing off. What was that, speaking of the Beatles? Learned the other night that they're the only artist to have outsold Garth Brooks in the US. Huh? Really? Night, fake panda dealer. You have a good one. I know you got to get off and you know, deal those deals, so I'm not gonna keep you. Have a good one. Voice acting and film acting are very different. I can see how, yeah. Oh yeah. Well, and especially for Jackie Chan, somebody whose native language is not English, you know. Again, ton of different reasons you may not want to do it. That's interesting about the Beatles thing. The only band to have outsold Garth Brooks in the US. It's really number one, number two, huh? I knew my interesting fact, my interesting factoid that I would go to, like Beatles related, was Shea Stadium, where Grand Funk Railroad sold out Shea Stadium faster than the Beatles did, and that was like one of those things in middle school. And it's interesting, and I'll tell you how I got here. It was because when I was playing Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, listening to KDST, The Dust, driving through the desert or up Mount Chiliad or whatever, you know, listening on repeat, just like Horse with No Name and Some Kind of Wonderful, and like, you know, probably 15 other songs. And I was like, this is good music. And it was kind of like when I was like first going like, yeah, you know, I kind of like listening to music. I wasn't like super into music as like a kid. Like it was there and music was fine, but I didn't like go out of my way to like listen to it. But I somehow got like really into Grand Funk Railroad, where I was like, Some Kind of Wonderful is like pretty cool. And I think I looked up like a few other songs and I'm like, you know, I'm Your Captain Closer to Home is like real good. I think I must have gotten like a Grand Funk Railroad CD and I was like, oh, I really like this. And so I was like, I got like really, really into Grand Funk Railroad. And so that was like where I went like, yeah, like that solidifies it. Like if they could sell out a stadium faster than the Beatles, then they must be good. And they did, and they were. And it was fine. And I enjoyed the music and it was good. Garth Brooks is not anybody who I ever really got into. I'm not a country boy by any stretch of the imagination. That's not really my kind of thing. We are chat. This is really bad because I can look at the preview screen, which I just refreshed, and I can look at where we are in real life. And in real life, we just ran away from Encounter 371, and in the preview, we just did 369. So we're like at least 2 Reggies behind. So when you're hearing me talk about this right now, I'm probably on 373, which is no good, no bueno, very bad. I'm also watching just the severe number of frames that OBS has dropped, and is probably frantically trying to get back into your internet service, but the internet has just kind of like puttered out for the night. And is like, we can't do this anymore. So don't be scared when the stream drops, when OBS freaks out, when it drops 100,000 frames, because we're getting there. I'm hoping. Last night we had a rough patch, and OBS just sort of like eventually the internet got better, and then it just started turboing out like all the frames again, and it was like, we're just gonna blast out, because usually I can see that like OBS is supposed to be transmitting about 6,000 kilobits per second, and it cranked up to about 20,000, where it went, we have these frames and you're gonna eat them. You need to eat these frames. You think you can name for Grand Funk Railroad some kind of wonderful and we're an American band? Yeah, those are definitely the two. Those are definitely the two main ones. Yeah, for sure. Beyond that, I'm trying to think of like which ones are like are good. They have a they were actually the first, because I wasn't like, I mean, this is kind of how it goes, right? Like, you're either like born into like, you know, if you have a dad who's like really into classic rock, it's like your dad's either really into the Beatles or like really into the Rolling Stones, and my dad was like a Beatles guy through and through. So I just like didn't really hear a lot of Rolling Stones growing up. So Grand Funk Railroad was my first, the first people who I heard do Gimme Shelter, and their version of Gimme Shelter is like real good. That one's good. I'm trying to think of what else. I mean, like, they got pretty big. The Locomotion was one that they did. I don't really like it that much. I don't think it's that good of a song, but they did a cover, Locomotion, that was like pretty popular. I'm Your Captain, Closer to Home was probably like another huge one that would be, you probably haven't heard it because like it would be like, it would only be played on the radio, like even on a classic rock station. It would have to be like, they would have to do one of those things where they're like, and this is, for the next 3 days, we're playing all the songs that are like 10 minutes long. Welcome to 10 Minute Tuesday, through 10 Minute Thursday, there, because it was 3 days long. Or it would have to be one of those things where it's like, we're going A to Z, every single song that we have in our discography, we're just gonna play them all alphabetically, would be the times that you would hear I'm Your Captain, Closer to Home, because it is a 10-minute song, but it is a pretty darn good 10-minute song though. It's pretty sick. I'm trying to think of like, yeah, it's been a while. I haven't listened to them in like a while. Like I was really, really into them in like middle school, early high school. And then like, you know, I would still definitely listen to them, but I just like don't have access to my music in the same way, and I'm not like a Spotify kid, so I wouldn't be like, I'm in the Grand Funk Railroad mood, I'm gonna listen to Spotify, because yeah, that's just not how it goes. Oh yeah, that's your dad into the Beatles. My dad was a Beatles dad. My dad was a ginormbo Beatles dad. That's just the kind of dad that I had. Your dad was more into Queen and Prince. Yeah, my dad was, so my dad is like, see, I feel like if your dad was into Queen and Prince, your dad's probably about 10 years younger than my dad, give or take, maybe 15. So my dad like just turned 70. And they're coming back. I'm watching the thing crank to like 20,000 kilobits per second. Oh, it's catching up. Oh, this is where it's gonna go turbo-tastic, and then you'll be able to refresh and you'll be back caught up. Oh yeah, the internet's back, baby. Internet, we're flying through these frames. Mom was an AC/DC and Guns N' Roses type of classic rock enjoyer. Like 80s. Yeah, so like with my dad being like 70, it's like, yeah, he was like really, you know, I guess you could say like coming of age, like, you know, or he would have been, I gotta think about this, because Beatles were like just like the 60s. They were, it's crazy that they released so much music, and it's like all like just straight like just like the 60s. But what, he's 70 now, 54. So yeah, I mean, he was probably like close to like, you know, 10-ish when the Beatles were, you know, like 8, 9, 10 when they were like first coming to America. And so like that into like his like early teens. So it was like, did Stream? No. Stream should have done the opposite of. Stream fixed itself. Stream the internet the internet like equated itself out. OBS went, the internet is better, let's turbo load this, and then shot all the frames to you guys. So now like now the stream is back up. So yeah, it probably, you either you need to refresh because it sent you all the frames. So yeah, if you just refresh, things should be fine and you should be like back up to speed. We're basically back at like real time. Yeah. So you can fix it is what I is all I'm telling you. You can be the change you want to see in the world. Or if you're living in the past like Samurai Jack, you could just keep living in the past. And I guess that works. What's this? Your dad is 66 right now. He was very into the Beatles, but also Queen, David Bowie, Aerosmith, Rolling Stones, The Who. Yeah, it's like my dad definitely like pucked and chuzzed. He's definitely like hardcore Beatles guy through and through. I would say like probably maybe like Elton John might be up there with one that he listened a lot to. But yeah, I don't really know. I mean, he was just so much Beatles where I'm like, I don't really know what things he like particularly did or didn't like. Just like a lot of music from that time. Like growing up, he always listened to like the classic rock stations. And so I kind of knew about the things that he like didn't like. He wasn't a Bob Dylan guy. He wasn't really like an AC/DC guy. Definitely like really like a lot of that like 80s stuff he wasn't like really into. I think he probably more like respected Bowie than like really liked him. Your dad was a classic rock guy and now is a country guy? No. See, what happened is that like my dad was like a classic rock guy. And then it's kind of like two things happened at the same time where the classic rock station went, well, the music's old enough now, and they started playing like Nirvana on the classic rock station. And then also like XM radio became like a thing. And so now it's like he doesn't really listen to the classic rock station. He just listens to the Beatles channel. And I'm also like not home enough to like know, you know, what his like other musical habits are. But yeah, there's definitely like, you know, when I was going through like my like classic rock phase, that there's stuff that I liked more than he did. I think I was more of like more into like Pink Floyd than he was. Definitely went through like a real hard Pink Floyd phase. Yeah, I mean, like, you know, Grand Funk Railroad, like I said, Grand Funk Railroad was one that I got like real into, and that was never really like his thing. Aerosmith's cover of Come Together is the worst song ever. Aerosmith's cover of Come Together is very bad. You're not wrong. I could potentially argue that I think like the cover that I dislike the most is, and this one is super contentious, and it's one of those things that's very bad living here, because I'm completely outnumbered. I think the Disturbed version of Sounds of Silence is like absolutely dog shit terrible. I think it like completely misses the point of the song, and it freaking sucks. And then like it's the one thing, it's the grounds for divorce situation. It's like if my wife has one flaw, she's like, no, I think you're wrong. I think the Simon and Garfunkel version's kind of boring. And I'm like, no. You like both versions of the song? I think like I understand Mr. Disturbed like has a nice voice and it sounds nice, but it's like it's so overly dramatic. I think it's terrible. That's yeah, but I also just don't think that she likes Simon and Garfunkel super much. Which, I mean, like, I'm not like a super like Simon and Garfunkel head. If you told me you hated Simon and Garfunkel, I wouldn't be offended. My most exposure to Simon and Garfunkel is like mostly like a greatest hits album. I never really got like super into them. But yeah, it's like I remember that, and I think it was like when maybe the second Mumford & Sons album, when it came out, they did a cover of The Boxer, which is a Simon & Garfunkel song that I do like quite a bit. And I was like, the Mumford & Sons Boxer is like pretty decent, but I'm like, you know, this is a Simon & Garfunkel song, right? And it's like, nope, don't like it as much. Prefer Garfunkel and Oates. I like my comedy duos more. I do like Garfunkel and Oates decently enough. I never got like super into them. I feel like I was more into like Flight of the Conchords than I was Garfunkel and Oates. But you know, I like them. Like I have nothing against them. I don't think I've ever like really like listened too closely. First, you didn't know that Sounds of Silence was a cover. It is, yeah. Not their song. There was, I mean, you'd always be surprised to learn what is and what isn't a cover. That's like I have to be, you know. I at one point in my life, when I was a dumber man, I did like sit around and go, covers are bad. Nothing's better than the originals. Why would you do a cover when the song, or you know, and you know, like, or like, why would you like change a song? You know, just being like a little like, you know, stupid young person that doesn't understand the world. Yeah, I mean, and I think, you know, maybe like as a counteraction to things like Glee, where it's like they just covered things and it's like, you're unoriginal, like, shut up. But of course, as we talk about on these streams a lot, my very favorite band in the world is They Might Be Giants, and of course They Might Be Giants. One of I think one of the best known They Might Be Giants songs, Istanbul. Istanbul's a cover. of some other band, and let me tell you that They Might Be Giants version is way, 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 way better than the regular version of Istanbul. So, you know, you eventually get unstupid and you have to... Was the band Constantinople? No, it was like, Istanbul... It's like, is it like the Four Young Lads or something like that? The Four Lads, I was right. Yeah, it's by the Four Lads. And it is weird. It is real weird. What's this? The Glee cover of "I Want to Hold Your Hand" is better than the original. Ban. Somebody take Unipants' mod sword away. Guards, take him away. I was like the band Axis of Awesome. Their song, the Four Chord song. Those, I know exactly 2 songs by Axis of Awesome, and I'm pretty sure it's the same 2 songs as everybody else knows. It's the Four Chord song, which is great, and then also Birdplane, and those are the 2 songs I know that they do, and that's it. I'm sure they have other songs, but those are the 2 that I know, and those are the only 2 I'll ever know. I was never interestingly enough, as a surprisingly straight theater kid, who was doing theater, like not college. I guess I was never like that kind of guy. But as somebody who was a theater kid and was in high school theater, in the mid to late 2000s, Glee kind of sounds like the kind of show that would be like right up my alley. But I just like never did get into it. It never was anything that I cared about. It never was anything that I really wanted to deal with. And then, like, just on a fundamental level, there was the whole like Glee Jonathan Coulton debacle, with his cover of Baby Got Back that they like, that they like full sail ripped, and potentially even like perhaps literally ripped his version of the song and used it on the show. But so then it was like a moral thing where I was like, they're unscrupulous, and so I made the right choice in not caring about them. So the only episode of Glee I'll watch now, of course, is the regional holiday music episode of Community, which which is the Glee episode, which is very good. So yeah, I'm just not didn't watch Glee, don't know Glee very well. It's not my circus, not my monkeys, not my situation. I gotta go to bed. Well, thanks for hanging out. It's been a fun stream. It's been a good time. Yeah, you have a great one. Hope to see you back here in the future. And yeah, hopefully we catch the shiny. See, this is the real kicker, right? It's like, I want to catch the shiny so that we've caught the shiny and we're done and we have the shiny and we've caught the shiny. But there's also the little part of me that like doesn't want to catch the shiny, because not catching the shiny means that we get to like hang out and chat and continue catching the shiny in the future. Wait, otherwise non-musical shows doing musical episodes is always amazing and your mind will not be changed. I don't know if I know I don't know if I know a show that's done a musical episode and the musical episode has been bad. Of course, There's the Scrubs episode. The Scrubs musical episode is very good. The Buffy the Vampire Slayer musical episode is really good. The Glee, like the Community episode that is the knockoff of Glee, is really good. Yeah. Huh. You want me to catch the shiny because it'll fill your pockets with shifty nickels? I guess that's one way to look at it. Well, thank you for voting for me. That means that you voted for me, and I appreciate that. I appreciate that you voted to believe in me. I liked when Dave Grohl pissed off the dude behind Glee because he didn't want his music anywhere near Glee. Nice. You're feeling 419 on this one? That's so close. That's really close. I mean, I wouldn't mind if it was 419. But what if it was Booyaka Booyaka 619 instead? Could be that. I've worked so hard. Yeah, I've worked so hard talking with chat and spinning in a circle for 2.5 hours. Yup, such strenuous work, chat. Such strenuous work. Why not the funny sex number 420? Oh, cause that's the ultimate edge, right? Is you want to get to the funny sex number 420 and then we stop at 419. That's how I think that's how edging works, right? And we were talking about again how shiny hunting is just non-sexual edging at the beginning of this stream. So it's so fitting. Just edge another Cheez-It in there. Edge another Cheez-It. Oh, edge another Cheez-It. Oh. Ah, yeah, Jackie. Is it 404? 404, shiny Reggie not found. Womp womp. I told you to get your haircut, you look like Kevin Owens. Like KO show Kevin Owens himself. I'm gonna be, in just a few short weeks, I'm gonna be in the same room as that man. Going to Rumble. Rumble's in. He's gonna be there, right? He'll be there. Rumble's in Indy, so close enough now. You know, I'm a little Hoosier boy. I can go see Rumble now. Dude, Rumble. What I went and saw Rumble live just like 2 years ago, because Rumble was in San Antonio, and I was like, I can drive to San Antonio. And now Rumble's in Indianapolis, and I'm like, I can drive to Indianapolis. It actually worked out because it was like Mania was in Dallas, Rumble was in San Antonio. Then I moved to Indiana right at the start of the situation where they went, Indianapolis is getting like the big three, like all like not right in a row, but you know, over the course of three or 4 years, you know, we're Indianapolis is getting Rumble, they're getting WrestleMania, and they're getting SummerSlam. And I think Indianapolis is going to get SummerSlam when SummerSlam's a 2-night event, because I think that's next year. Is it next year they're doing Rumble in Saudi? No, that's not true. That's not true, is it? They're doing Rumble in Saudi Arabia? No, you can't do that. You can't do that. Saudi Arabia is where you do your stupid Saudi shows that don't matter. Saudi Arabia is where you do Crown Jewel. Saudi Arabia is where it's like, I don't need to tune in if I don't want to, because it sucks. Oh. No, they're really doing it in Saudi Arabia? Ugh. Gross. Gross. 2026 Rumbles in Riyadh. I thought Riyadh was just one of those places that was like a location in Pandemic, and that was it. Man, that sucks. Like, Rumble's so cool. This is like, man, it's the time of year where I'm gonna come onto stream and I'm gonna start talking about wrestling. It's like, it's just like from like Royal Rumble to WrestleMania, wrestling's so fun to pay attention to. And honestly, man, if wrestling wasn't so much, I would pay attention like every week. It was one of those things. It's so funny. As when I was first getting into wrestling, which again, it was because my in-laws, you know, my wife's entire family came to Austin to visit so that we could go to WrestleMania in Dallas. And WrestleMania was like the first like WWE thing that I like. It's the first WWE live event that I went to, and it's only like the second show that I really ever watched, because I think we watched the Royal Rumble that year before we went to WrestleMania. But it's like I watched like that Royal Rumble and then went to WrestleMania having no idea of like, you know, really what was going on other than like, this is cool. And like we got out of WrestleMania and I was like, cause you know, it's like the biggest show of the year, right? Like everything leads to WrestleMania. And so I was like, man, wrestling's cool. Like maybe I'll start like trying to pay attention to this outside of like WrestleMania. So like, when does it come back? You know, like we just hit Mania, you know, that means we must be going into like the off season. When does wrestling come back? And they were like, Monday. And I was like, what do you mean Monday? And they're like, yeah, wrestling's every week of the year. Huh? Yeah. How much? Oh, you know, just if you're just doing SmackDown and Raw, you know, it's just 2 nights a week. How long are the shows? Well, one's 3 hours and one's 2 hours. You care about NXT? Then it's 3. Oh, you know what? Maybe I don't need to pay attention to this. You know, I'm good. I'm good. I'm fine. But yeah, Royal Rumble is always so cool. It's just like, even if I love Royal Rumble because like, it's such a cool event that like you don't even need to be into wrestling to like watch it and enjoy it. And I'm saying this, if you're here in chat and you hear me talk about wrestling every once in a while, you hear me talk about the WWE. If you aren't into the WWE, if wrestling is not something that you're interested in, but you have a Peacock subscription, and I know that that is a very niche amount of people I'm talking about. If you are both not into WWE wrestling and you have a Peacock subscription, but if you exist and you're here, Royal Rumble is just a couple weeks away. And you should absolutely turn on Peacock and watch it. You should 100% watch Royal Rumble. It's so cool. It's so cool. You subscribe to the, well, first off, I'm pretty sure the executive board said, don't call it the cock. We don't call it that. You're an AEW girly? That's fine. That's fine. You're allowed to like AEW. That's fine. If I was still employed by Warner, I would be like, that's good. You should pay attention to the wrestling league that Warner owns. Yeah, you should. That's fine. I mean, I have nothing against AEW. It's cool. I just like the people in my life who like wrestling are WWE people. I don't have to feel as conflicted about like supporting the WWE. Now that Vince McMahon isn't tied to it. But you know, and I'm not saying that just because McMahon is gone, not that there aren't things about the WWE there. Not that there's no controversies, but you know, I'm sure there are. I mean, again, you know, you get, you know, taking money from Saudi Arabia, not cool. So, you know, I'm peeved to hear that they're doing the Rumble in Saudi Arabia next year. That sucks. But, you know, there's no ethical consumption. They're going to do capitalism, you know. So, exactly, Stein. Exactly. But yeah. Oh. But yeah, wrestling's fun. Wrestling's cool. I like it. And it's been good. It's been pretty good. It's a good time to get in because it's good. And it's crazy that like, it's wild at just like how, also with the fact that it's like been good and people are like recognizing that it's been good, that like the show, you could feel the difference going to the shows. I went to two shows when I was in Austin. I've got a buddy in Austin who's like my like WWE buddy. He's like way more into it than I am. But like WWE was coming through and he was like, you want to go to the show? And I was like, yeah, I'll go to the show. And so me and him went, and it was like half empty. Nobody cared. Like nobody was like cheering. The only the only like match on the card that like anybody like cared about was Ronda Rousey. It was when she was like doing stuff with WWE, and it was like the energy was like off. Like it was still fun, but like yeah, it was just like weird. And then maybe like a year and a half later, they came back to Austin, and we went to that show, and it's like it was awesome, and just like the crowd was super into it. It was like the arena was like full, so good. Well, it wasn't even, I think we went, it would have been it was when they were, so what it was, I think it was like 2022, so it was kind of like on the like the upswing. It was like 22 and then like 24 was when we went. Cause yeah, I heard that like, see, I don't know about the mid 2010s. I heard that like COVID WWE was like rough. But it's good. It's fun. What's that? You got to meet Alexa Bliss in person before your show? Nice. Did not like Ronda Rousey in WWE. A lot of people didn't, as I've learned. Yeah, no. People were not into Ronda Rousey in WWE, not at all. No, no, no. It was like one of those, because I remember like going to like Mania and walking around, you know, because they had like you know, we had to do stuff during the day, and they had you know, some like big thing that they had like rented out, you know, not like the arena, but like some other place that was nearby that was like you could go through there, and they had like a museum, and you could do like different like meet and greets with like different wrestlers, and you could walk through like this big like they had like a very specific like area that you could go through that was like an Undertaker specific museum, but that was like paid, you know, but then like all of it, there's like the big like WWE store and all that, and we were like walking through the store, and I was like Ronda Rousey's shirt is like cool, and the, you know, the people more knowledgeable were like, you don't want that. Not that I was like looking to get it, but you know, I was just thinking around like, oh yeah, you know, I'm like, her shirt's cool, and I'm like, oh, you know, maybe like, you know, and it was like, I'm like, oh yeah, like I'm glad that I got into it at least when like you know, we're in like an era of like the women wrestlers are actually like respectable and like doing interesting stuff and putting on like good matches, and it's not like it's just women there to be like sexualized. It's like women there to be like athletic and badass. But yeah, I definitely got a understanding that Ronda Rousey was not very well liked in the WWE. Wait, what's this? There was a time when your best women's wrestling was Trish Stratus versus Mickie James, and that still had Mickie licking her finger. Oh, no, thank you. No, thank you. Ugh. Like I said, at least it's. At least it's better now. And that's what we could be thankful for. But yeah, wrestling's good. Wrestling's good. It's good. It's fun. I like it. We are at 1. We are at done time. What are we at? 427. So we didn't hit 419. We sailed right past the funny number. Gotta go sleepies. Gotta go sleepy time. And I need to sleep too. I was up. I told you guys. We streamed till normal time last night. Normal time is still 1. You know, that's still late. And I told you I was getting that you know, TikTok ban video out, which by the way is good, and you should watch it. I'm gonna shamelessly plug the Rivals channel because, you know, I want it to be watched. I want the content to be watched. I'm working very hard on it, and I like it, and I want it to be liked. Even if you're not into Rivals, I think the TikTok ban video is really just interesting. Just from a like perspective of like getting to like learn about what was going on. Cause like, you know, I had to like kind of go and, you know, like do some research and be like, oh, it's like, what exactly happened with like this like TikTok ban? You know, how'd it go? Average Game Guy, thank you so much for the raid. Welcome in, welcome in, welcome in. Raiders, it's so nice to see you here. Hello. If you don't know who I am, hi, my name is Larry. I'm a variety streamer slash Marvel Rivals content creator YouTuber. Doing right now, we're just doing some Pokemons, and we're actually at the end of stream. So I'm sorry to say we won't be here for very long, but you're welcome to join us as we're raiding somebody else. Taliscan, thank you for the follow. Welcome in. What were you up to tonight? What were you all up to? Because yeah, we've just been Pokemoning. No such luck in making any progress. We didn't find the shiny. You know, it's kind of like we do or we don't. You know, it's a 50% chance of ending the hunt. We either find it or we don't. And tonight was not a night that we found it. You're playing some Persona 5? Nice. I was talking about, I've not Persona'd before, but I'm playing through Metaphor ReFantazio right now, and I really like it. Playing Metaphor really makes me want to try Persona, because Metaphor is quite good. And I'm like, oh, this is what I've been missing? I want to do this. RPG Lover, yes, the TikTok ain't banned. The video was more about like, it's kind of touching on a number of topics that I was curious about. It was like, how did we get to a ban? Because the ban was undone so fast, or at least put. I'm not even gonna say unbanned, because I'm gonna say it as it is, which is got put on hold. How did, just because it got unbanned, what does it mean for the future? Is it gonna get rebanned again? How, like, I know the answer to this. Like, how did Marvel Snap get tied up into all this? And of course it's because they're tangentially connected to TikTok's parent company. But it was more of like, okay, well, everybody was calling this a TikTok ban. So then, like, what's the deal with hitting, like, the other apps, even if they're owned by the same company? What's the deal there? What exactly, like, is the law? What exactly is, like, the punishment for not following the law? What's the sitch? And then, of course, because it was a situation where, like, okay, this game that I liked very much, that is, not even developed by, but just published by a Chinese company. So, like, what's the deal? What's the deal there? Could something like Marvel Rivals, a game that is, like, developed and published by a Chinese company, be something that just gets banned out of the blue? Which the answer to that is, like, probably not, and most likely not. But it was just fun to kind of, like, do the research and figure that out, and then, like, make a video about that. America wants, like, 50% of TikTok. America wants all of TikTok. That's what it boils down to. It boils down to that concerns, legitimate concerns over how much data TikTok might be gathering on you is being turned into, oh my god, do you know how many billions of dollars TikTok rakes in? Boy, it really sucks that money goes to China. What if we just, like, strong-armed them to make it so that America owned that company, and then America could make that money? Didn't they also do election stuff? I don't touch on that in the video, but that is something that I saw kind of in passing. With both, like, TikTok, the second you banned now message followed by the we're back now message was kind of propaganda-y in favor of Mr. Crimes. then it kind of seemed like, at least from what I saw, and I don't have corroborating evidence of this, I'm only going off of what I saw on Twitter, but it does seem like there may be some pro Mr. Crime censorship happening on TikTok. So currently. So yeah, you know, it's a whole thing. I tried to on Twitch, you'll get a little bit more of my just because you're dealing with me, you know, kind of direct and unfiltered and off the cuff. You'll get a little bit of my more strong political feelings in regards to the situation. The video that I did, I tried to keep it, and it's certainly not perfect by any means, but I did try to keep it like relatively factual. I tried not to let my like biases get in the way of talking about like what the situation was. I did, again, slip through a little bit, but I was just trying to be like, we're not talking about like the who's-ity what's-ity. Let's talk about like exactly like what happened, how did this happen, what's going on, what is the TikTok ban bill actually do, because it has the potential to be farther reaching than just a TikTok ban, as we saw from the fact that Marvel Snap was banned, right? Like, Marvel Snap isn't TikTok, but we've been talking about a TikTok ban this whole time. How did Marvel Snap get banned? It's a crazy situation. And it's interesting because my conjecture, I wrote the video, I wrote and recorded the video. We're stopping at 444. You did call it Ocean, yes. We're stopping at 444. I wrote and recorded the video before Marvel Snap was unbanned. And I had some conjecture in the video where I go, I think like Marvel Snap, we knew that they said that they were going to get unbanned the day that I was making it. Marvel Snap is owned, so Second Dinner is an independent company. Second Dinner is publishes Marvel Snap through a company called Newverse, and Newverse is owned by ByteDance, and ByteDance is the TikTok company. Newverse was ByteDance's way of trying to compete with Tencent, but they like, basically the reason why my conjecture was that like Marvel Snap would be fine is that ByteDance in 2023 talked about getting out of video game publishing, and so they were looking to kind of like wind down Newverse, and it seemed like Newverse was going to get disconnected from Marvel Snap anyway, but it didn't happen. But now Marvel Snap is like, we're not letting this happen again. We're finding a new publisher. Like we're done working with Newverse, so it'll be over soon. So my conjecture was like that was going to happen. So then it was super interesting as like the information came out as I was editing, and then they were like, we're getting a new publisher. Yes, I do have two separate YouTube channels. It Me Larry TV is just the Twitch archive, and It Me Larry is the Marvel Rivals channel. So yeah, that's like all those videos are like written, edited, produced videos that are specifically about Marvel Rivals. The Twitch VODs channel is just me going like, yep, we streamed. I cut out the part where I went on a break to go get more water. Here you go. Just subscribe to both? Well, thank you. I appreciate it. I appreciate the support. All right, that was 444 and not a guy. So we are calling it... It's kind of disgusting to look at how many hours I have in this game. And then to think about how many of those hours are me running in circles. Running in circles. And I'm just running in circles. I'm just a guy and I'm a guy running in circles. Yeah, no shiny tonight, but no shiny tonight means that we can shiny hunt in the future. And I love doing local idiot shiny hunt nights with you guys. It's super fun. It's always super fun. It's just fun to run in circles and just chat with you guys. Like, I mean, I feel like I've gotten, excuse me, I feel like I've gotten chattier since we moved, since I did the move. Like, I just end up doing the chat portion of the stream longer and longer, and sometimes I get really carried away. It's just really fun talking with you guys. And playing video games is fun too, but I do just like to gab with y'all. So I really love doing the shiny hunting streams because I get to gab for like 3 hours, and there's nothing in the game to talk about other than, hey, we ran in a circle again. So always lots of fun. So thank you guys so much. This is really fun. This is a fun night. I'm okay not catching it because it just means that we get to do more shiny hunting in the future. Tomorrow, no stream. I need a good night's sleep. Tomorrow I gotta do big boy editing stuff for the people that I freelance for now. I can't say work for because I don't work for them, but I got to do my freelance work. Thursday is going to be a busy day because I'm going to be trying to get up and make a full guide on the spring event coming to Marvel Rivals on Thursday. And I'm going to try, and I don't think I'm going to make it, but I'm going to try my darndest. I'm going to try to get up, cover that, get that video out before stream time. Thursday, I'm streaming at 8 p.m. my time. Me and Tyler are going to be streaming, and Ash is joining us, not streaming. And the three of us are going to play Marvel Rivals, and we're doing like Marvel Rivals bingo. This is the thing that Tyler wanted to do. So we basically like are coming up with like a bunch of challenges and then just trying to create like a bingo board. It should be super fun. I'm really looking forward to it. But that is Thursday. So no stream tomorrow. Let's see where we want to go. Looks like a lot of people online right now. Because Chloe's never online later than us. Let's raid Chloe. Chloe's doing some Marbiles right now. So if you want to get into some good marble races, go over there. And if you don't have to join them. Go over there, give Chloe your love. Chloe loves raiding over. I don't know if she loves raiding over here. Chloe raids over here more than I raid over there because usually she's off earlier than I am. So go over there, give her your love, give her your support. Chloe totally deserves it. I'm gonna go to bed. I'll see you guys in a couple days. If you miss me between now and then, there's the YouTube channel. There's the 2 YouTube channels. Go check them out. Thank you guys for hanging out. This was super fun. Toodaloo. Adios. Bitey bye. Love you very much. See ya on the flibbity bibbity.
Okay, that's all the time I've got. I gotta get back to playing Animal Crossing New Leaf on my Nintendo 3DS.
Bye.